are the headlines for today's Radio 1 News Update. Minimum wage raise, Aussie tourists arrested at GP, Colombian peace deal vote fails, Matthew floods Kingston. This is the Radio 1 News Update. I'm Aaron Leviton. After 3 months of negotiations, the Labour Advisory Council voted for and set an increase in Cambodia's minimum wage for garment and footwear workers from the current $140 per month to $148. Three figures had been put forward: $147 by the Garment Manufacturers Association of Cambodia, $148 by the government, and $171 per month put forward by unions. After the LAC voted to choose the government's figure of $148 per month, the Prime Minister stepped in to add $5 per month, bringing the minimum monthly wage for garment and footwear workers to $153, a total rise of just over 9%. Chairman of the Garment Manufacturers Association of Cambodia, Van Su Yang, said, quote, "This is a big increase as compared to the inflation figure for the last year."
Coming up next, international news.
9 Australian tourists were arrested at the Malaysian Grand Prix on the weekend after stripping down to Speedo swimming briefs bearing the Malaysian flag in celebration of the victory of Australian driver Daniel Ricciardo. The men, all aged between 25 and 29, include an advisor to the Australian Defence Industry Minister, Christopher Pyne. Razlan Razali, chief executive of the Sepang International Circuit, said, quote, "This shows a huge lack of respect to us as Malaysians. This is stupid behaviour from foreigners who have no sense of cultural sensitivity and respect. It embarrasses their own country as well. It gives Australians a bad name." A week after a historic peace deal was signed to end 52 years of civil insurgency in Colombia, a referendum to make it binding has failed, with 50.2% of ballots for the no side. With less than 40% of eligible voters turning out at polling stations, that meant the referendum failed by just 54,000 votes. Prior to the vote, President Juan Manuel Santos had said there was no plan B if the peace deal failed at the ballot box. Former President, Senator Alvaro Uribe, led the No campaign, saying the peace deal allowed the rebel group known as FARC to get away with murder, and said FARC rebels who had killed citizens needed to do time in prison, and certain FARC leaders should be banned from politics when FARC became a recognized party. President Santos ordered the government's negotiating team back to Havana, where negotiations were carried out for over 3 years, and FARC's leadership said it would abide by the ceasefire for now. Hurricane Matthew has caused flooding in the Jamaican capital Kingston as it passed by Jamaica, lashing the Caribbean island nation with wind and rain. Its next stops were to be Haiti, where thousands of people still live in tents following the devastation wrought by the 2010 earthquake, and then Cuba, as it heads north towards the Bahamas and then the US Atlantic coast. Hurricane Matthew's winds have been measured at 220 kilometers per hour. This has been the Radio 1 News Update. Stay tuned for more news on Radio 1 FM 103.7.